So you can look at your dental practice as we have a team of hygienists, we have an office administrator, we've got one or maybe two dentists that are in practice, and then we have a marketing guy we hired who does, I don't know what, offers free teeth whitening, and we get people in the door. You can look at it that way. The question that we would ask is, what does this organism, so the dental practice is an organism, what does this organism need to thrive? And then instead of looking at the office manager as an office manager and the dentist as practitioners and the marketing guy as a marketing guy or gal, we now ask, how does their incremental actions give this organism what it needs to thrive? And like any organism, whether you have a kid at home or you have a pet you're responsible for, there are certain things that make its well-being optimized. So now we don't want to look at these people as positions in a company. We want to look at the responsibilities. What are they responsible for, and how does that optimize this organization as an organism? So now we're starting to say, okay, well, we need to get certain number of people in the door to have a sustainable practice that grows. Now, when we get them in the door, what is considered a great lead for us? What's considered a bad lead for us? What are the people who help us grow our practice? They're sustainable. What are the people who they cause administrative drag? Then with our follow-up, is the office manager calling people before their appointments? Is that linked to sales or marketing? Like Randeep, you look through everything and you ask yourself, how does this individual action create value in this organism? Now, here's where clarity gets even more beautiful. So now we got the technical stuff. We've now said, hey, this is what the organism needs to be successful, and this is what each person or process is responsible for in making that happen. Now we wrap that whole thing in customer value. We say, how does everything we do align with creating the most values for customers? So we already know what we're going to do. Now this shapes how we're going to do it. And when you get to the point where because when you're a dentist and you're also a business person, you're wearing two hats, but you want to think about it, just like we said, as you're being curious about the process and you're asking yourself, how does everything we do actually link back to the outcomes that we want? Once you have that, you can use AI to make that process a lot quicker because it's optimizing what you have. One thing I want to add, because as dental practices get bigger, this happens, is we want to know why every specific mandate or practice was put into place. So if we have a form that needs to be filled out and we fill it out every time, obviously we want to optimize that, but we want to make it digital. But we also want to say who created this, when did they create it, and why did they create it? So this form was created by Jyoti because she knows that this form is necessary to submit documentation to NHS. That would be a very good reason. But then every time we fill it out, we can look at that reason and see if it needs to be updated. When you look at things that way, Randeep, you start to have a system that is repeatable. You have where you can copy and paste it because you can go from Reading to Manchester to Liverpool to Surrey. Like you can take that same system and replace it. And the way I like to talk about it to dentists that are perhaps new at scaling their practice, I like to talk about it like a McDonald's. So think of McDonald's. Don't worry about if they're healthy or unhealthy. Just look at them as a business unit. They are able to install a McDonald's in a location, maybe even before the government is installed, because their system is so good that pimply-faced teenagers can run it without giving us all E. coli or anything like that. So you want to have a system that is so tight and it's so well mapped that you can Control C, Control V, and just copy and paste it. But it all starts with asking yourself, what is necessary for this organism to thrive, and who or what process is responsible for that? Once you have that, you can optimize and you can duplicate it from there.